Hello, Joy Brooks with Email and Coffee. The following conversation is too honest, too graphic, and just too funny. It's like lemon chiffon, light, sweet, and maybe a little tart. Take a break, kick your shoes off, and listen to Jay Schwedelson. Hey everyone, Joy Brooks with Email and Coffee. Today I'm speaking with someone who I have just met, Jay Schwedelson. So he's going to tell me and you a little bit about himself.
Here I am. I'm so excited to be here because I like joy and I like coffee. So there you go. What is my story? So I have a marketing company, an agency. I've been doing that for a real long time, and I've been surrounded by marketing my entire life. The reason I say that is, so my mom was a school teacher. My dad worked for a magazine company. This is in the 70s, and they didn't like what they did for a living. And they said, you know what? We're going to take all the money we had in the world. They didn't have any money, really. We lived in a house that cost $46,000 at the time, and very small. Me and my two brothers, three of us. Anyway, they said, screw it. We're going to get into marketing. And they took all the money they had. They bought a computer in the 70s, which is wild. And they took the yellow pages and they started taking all the information in the yellow pages and putting into a list on a computer. And their idea was to sell this list to catalogers and print newsletter people and stuff. And off they went in our garage. I had no garage as a kid. And they were just doing this direct mail stuff. And from the time I was 5 years old, that's all I knew was marketing and direct response marketing. And you spend $1, you try to make $2. I grew up around that. And that kind of led me down the marketing rabbit hole. And that's what I do. I'm in the marketing world, marketing services world. I dig it. I do all sorts of other stuff, events and podcasts and nonsense. But I'm just a marketing guy, and that's what I do.
I like the nonsense part.
Yeah, for sure.
It's funny how, your folks did marketing, they fell into it, and you're just like regurgitating it because It's what you know, you probably ate marketing, probably sat around the dinner table and they talked about marketing.
Oh, you have no idea. It was, I guess that's a positive thing, although sometimes I thought it was weird. They would treat me like I was an adult when I was a child, and they would share like, oh, this is going well. This isn't going well. We have money for this. We don't have money for this. And I'd be like, I'm 8, dude. Like, like, what are you doing? And so we would be licking envelopes and doing stuff at the dinner table, like literally at the dinner table every night. That's where I was always working, always doing. And I thought it was normal to not have a garage. So yeah, that's all I've ever known is marketing, which is why I'm a moron.
Well, you're a marketing moron.
I'm a marketing moron. That's exactly
right. That's a good thing to be.
That's exactly. Here's the beauty about marketing. If you have a marketing business, my number one most favorite thing about it is you get a peek into so many different businesses. Like if you are just somebody that, let's say, I don't know why this is on my mind, manufactures tennis rackets, that's all you know. You just know that. But if you have a marketing business and you get a bunch of clients, you get you get a window into all these different businesses. You learn all this different stuff about so many different businesses. And to me, it's the most fascinating thing on the planet. And that is the number one thing that I love about marketing that really makes me want to like wake up and do what I do.
Something, I'll say the same thing about email marketing, because working with different clients, you have to learn about their business.
Yes.
And you'll start off going, what do you do? What
Right.
is, do you sell? How do you sell? What's going on? And you learn about their business. And there is that point when you sit down working with a client for some amount of time and it all clicks and you're like, oh, I get it.
Right.
And now you're the voice of the client. You're finally the branding voice of the client. And it's fascinating. It really is. You can't get bored.
No, absolutely not. And every business is so different. And even businesses that are in the same category are different.
Exactly.
And so it's just this never-ending cycle of cool stuff you get to see.
Exactly. It really is.
Yeah.
It really is. So I thought we would play a game today.
I'm ready. I'm all in.
And so I picked this up because I don't know. I found it probably backwards. Everybody, the people going to watch this, they're going to see it backwards. So they're going to be like,
Yeah.
It's a game of storytelling by the
Oh my
moth.
God. Oh my.
So you pick a card and you have to tell a story. And I pick some cards out. And we could tell some stories. So how about this one?
Are you gonna tell stories too?
I could do that.
Okay, good.
I could do that. I could take the heat off of you. So a time you cooked up something special, right? So I'll start. I'll let you think about it.
Okay.
Time cooked up something special. I love to cook. So far be it from me, I married a man who likes meat and potatoes. So if he didn't have meat or potatoes, it wasn't dinner, and he was going to McDonald's.
I love it. I'm
and
all in.
I love to cook cookies. I love to make bread, and all of these things are messy as hell. So he'd come home from work, and I'd be, puttering around the kitchen, and the kitchen would be a wreck. Flour on the floor. Flour on the faucet, cement in the sink.
100%.
He'd be like, excuse me, I'm going to McDonald's.
I respect it. I'd like to go with him.
So God bless his soul. I'm a widow now. He's gone, and I make all of the food I like. And I laugh every time I make anything, especially when making bread. I'm saying, because I'm hearing his voice going, what the are you doing? Do you see what you're doing? Because there'd be flour all over the floor. And the dogs, by the way, when I'm in the kitchen, they do hang around to see if something falls on the floor to eat, because I'm a wild klutz. But they also are aware of knives. So they're like, oh, she's got a knife in her hand. Scatter! Because
run away.
Yeah, run away. So things do happen. So I make a pretty crazy focaccia.
Ooh.
It's good.
I like that.
Very good. And I usually make it in the summer so that we have a salad. I invite my girlfriends over. Harry, he would have said, I'm going out to McDonald's. What is that? We're going to have salad and focaccia? I'm going to McDonald's.
That sounds good to me.
I that's my special. That's one of my specialties, other than chicken wings.
I'd eat that all day long.
Yeah, I would too.
So now it's, what did I cook up?
Yeah, what did you cook up? Something special.
So, I was just thinking about while you were talking. I don't cook that much, but I just did cook up something that wasn't food related, which was, I have 2 kids. My daughter's 16, my son is 17. So my son's kind of low key. He never wants to do anything for his birthday. He just doesn't care. So I was like, we should do something. We should have a surprise party for him, because he would never do it for himself. And so my wife's like, this is a great idea. So we cooked up a surprise party, and this happened like a week ago, and we live down in Florida. So my daughter contacted all of his friends and said, go to the beach. All of his friends meet up at the beach, and you're going to hide there, and we're going to lie to him and tell him that he's going there to have lunch with his cousins, whatever. Okay, fine. So all the friends go, and I'm waiting there for him to show up or whatever. And so I see he gets out of the car with my wife and my daughter, and all of a sudden he gets out of the car, and his friends are getting out of the car at the same time. Some of them were late. And my son is the most classic 17-year-old boy. He gets out, and he sees all these other guys. He's like, hey, what are you guys doing here? And they were like, oh, we're here to see some of our family. He goes, wow, that's a weird coincidence. Cool. And they just march down to the beach together. And then he sees a couple of his friends on the beach running around. He goes, look, those are my other friends. It's so weird that they're here too. It was a beach that we never go to. It literally, until all of his friends jumped on him, it didn't dawn on him. I was like, at what point were you going to know it was a surprise party? He goes, I didn't know. I'm clueless. I'm an idiot. I have no idea. And I was like, I was saying to my daughter, would you have known? She goes, I would have known like a week before. You know what I mean? It's like boys and girls. It's like girls should run the universe, because guys, we are clueless, like clueless on a good day.
speaking of clueless, we do run the universe.
This is true. This is true.
Right.
As well
We
you
do.
should. As well you should.
And we allow you to think you're in
Yeah.
charge.
Yeah.
That's the smart method.
Oh, I don't think I'm in charge of anything.
Anything,
Zero.
right?
Zero.
Right.
I have no authority anywhere whatsoever. Even on this podcast. Zero.
There you go.
See?
You will tell me the answer to the question.
Exactly.
How about this one? A time it didn't go your way.
Well, that's called every day of the week.
Yeah, I was going to say, I could go all the way back to childhood with this one.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, you go first. I'll tell you mine. You go first.
So when I was a kid, and by the way, I still have these dreams. When I was a kid, all I wanted was a bicycle. All I wanted was a bicycle. Now, my folks, when I was born, my father had a great job, but he worked for, he was in television, and it was the 50s and early 60s. And he was a producer for a game show.
Oh.
And it was called The Big Payoff. And there was a scandal at that point in time with game shows.
Quiz Show, that was a great movie.
Where they found out that they were telling the contestants the answers, and they were rigging it so that it would be entertaining. And not my dad. My dad was probably, more honest than, I don't know, George Washington. Right. But he got blacklisted. So I was born in 1955. Dad probably was out of work in 1960. So we didn't have a lot of money. He worked for his brother. He did odd jobs. He had to work his way back into the industry because they wouldn't hire him. So we didn't have a lot of money. And my sister had a bicycle because she was lucky enough to be older than I was, and she got the bicycle before. And here I am, 5, 6, 7 years old. All I want is a bicycle for Christmas. That's all I want. And I didn't get one. Not at all. And I remember, like, we are Jewish, but we celebrated Christmas down in the basement so that none of the other Jews knew we were celebrating Christmas. And big Christmas tree lights, the whole works. Christmas, Christmas things, Christmas presents. And I remember running downstairs. Oh, I'm going to get a bike. No bicycle. It just never went my way. So I remember saying to Dad, can I get a new bicycle? I really want a new bicycle. He goes, why do you need a bicycle? And I'm like, well, all of my friends have bicycles. And that was the kiss of death. Because my father was Mr. Contrary, which is, if anybody knows me and they wonder, where I get this stuff, I'm like my father. So if you tell me everyone's doing something, I'll be talking about the opposite thing. And that's where my dad was. And he literally, he would say to me, if everyone jumped off the Brooklyn Bridge, would you? That was his answer to everything. So no, I never got the bicycle. And I still have dreams about a bicycle. I do, by the way, I do have a bicycle. And I made a point of buying one. It was about 5 or 10 years ago. I said to my husband, who was alive then, I'm like, I'm buying a bicycle. And he goes, okay, I don't know why you're telling me this. Just go buy one. And I named it. It's pink. And it has a little bell on it. And I was so excited about getting this damn bike. It has a little bell on it, ling-ling. It has a bell with a pussycat on it. So it's the pink pussycat.
Wow.
I know. So that's my story about the...
That's like not the happiest story in the world, but
No.
It definitely didn't go your way.
It definitely, not when I was young. But I finally got my own bicycle. The point is I made my own money and I bought my own bicycle. Hello.
Wow. So, okay. So we're going far back in time. All right. I'll tell you about a time it didn't go my way then. I was young and I was at camp. I remember I was at camp and we went on a trip to an amusement park. And I think it was like the first time I had ever gone to an amusement park. I want to say I was I don't know, maybe 8 or 9. I would say 9 years old or so, and they had, rides, and one of the rides they had was a ride called the Gravitron, and I really wanted to go on it. Now, Gravitron, if you don't know what it is, it's this ride where, it's a big circle, and it has these pads against the wall, and you lean against the wall, and the circle spins so fast that you get sucked against the wall, and they call it Gravitron because the floor drops, and then you're sucked against the wall, and you're spinning really, really, really fast. I was so excited to go on this thing, so I finally got my chance to go on, and I didn't know at the time that I didn't do well going in a circle. So we're going around so fast, so fast, so fast, and in the middle of the ride, I throw up. Okay, in the middle of the ride, and the problem was we were going so fast that the vomit, it hits the man, this older man, right next to me, like boom, vomit. So they stop the ride, and they pause the ride, and they get hoses out, whatever. And this man was pissed. So he's really pissed off at me. And I'll never forget, he grabs my arm and he goes, "You're coming with me." I was like, "Where are we going? What's happening?" And I always, in my mind, whenever I think about the story, I'm like, where was any adult at this moment? They were nowhere to be seen. And this man takes me to the little crappy shop that they have in the amusement park. And I don't know why, but I probably had like $20 in my pocket. I don't know why I had any money. And he goes, "You are buying me a shirt." I was like, "Oh my God." So I took out whatever money. I bought this older man a shirt. And it like scarred me for life in so many ways that, I was taken by this man. I threw up. I had just thrown up. It was a bad day. So I don't go on the Gravitron anymore. So that was a day it didn't go well for me.
The reason I'm laughing so much is because I had the same exact experience. Not with that
threw up on
man,
you?
though.
Did I throw up on you?
No, I probably threw up on you.
Oh, thank you.
And I had pizza prior to going on that. So
Perfect.
It was a really bad experience. And it's ironic because when I was even younger, in my town, there was a feast, an Italian feast every year. Can't remember it was in August. And it was very exciting. They had, it was in the church parking lot, and they put up all the Italian food and the rides and the games. It was very exciting. Everybody went. It was something to do, and everybody did it. So I remember going on a ride where, it shot you around and down. I guess it was something like a Ferris wheel. No, something like a roller coaster. I was young at the time, and I went to grab the handrail. It wasn't grounded. So every time I grabbed the handrail, I got a shock. So I had to do it free fall. And I remember going, "I'm never going on another ride ever again." And I didn't for a really long time. You'd have to like pull me onto a ride, and I would be like, "No, I don't really want to do it." So any type of adventure park, I was the biggest bummer in the world, afraid of my shadow.
Yeah.
So finally, I'm like, okay, I'm gonna do this again, and that's when I went on the Gravitron.
No,
I was like, you see, these things just are not for me. It's just not me. And
no, they don't need to exist.
I remember holding it and going, "Oh, I'm going to get sick. I'm going to get sick. I can't do this." And it just goes around.
The worst. It's torture. It is torture. Yeah. Don't go on Gravitron.
Don't go on those things. Why do people like those things?
When people are like, "I love all of that, roller coasters or going upside down," I'm like, I don't get it. I mean, I just don't get it. It's a 0 for me. So go home. Stay at home.
I really don't like those types of challenges.
Well, it's ridiculous. I mean, what's the outcome? Great. I feel like crap. I mean, come on.
Right? I mean, but other people will say, "Oh, I want to do zip lining." I'm like, no.
No, I did zip lining. When I got done with it, I go, "Wow, that was pretty stupid."
I mean,
bungee jump looks like the dumbest thing in the world to me. I
right?
mean, literally.
Or they bungee jumping. I'm like, no.
No way.
No.
0.
Even another friend of mine, one of her bucket lists was jumping out of a plane. And I'm like, no. What, are you kidding me? The only time I'm jumping out of a plane is if it's being blown up and somebody's holding on to me, and no, I'm not doing those things.
That's not my bucket list.
Yeah, not my bucket list. I'm a scaredy cat, but I do like bicycles. So
yeah, clearly.
Okay. There's a few of them here that are good.
Uh-oh. I'm ready.
Either one.
Okay.
A time you had to put yourself back together.
Okay.
Which could be sad. Or a time you embraced the mess. So either one.
Okay. Let's see. Oh, well, I'll tell you, this was not that exciting, not that crazy, not that whatever. But when I was, I lived in New York. I grew up on Long Island. And I moved to Florida sophomore year of high school. And when I lived in New York, I was very quiet. I really was not an outgoing person at all. I was just a super quiet dude. And I moved to Florida, started a new high school, and much bigger high school. My high school in New York was tiny. My high school in Florida was massive. And I was angry. I was angry that I moved. And for the first few months, I literally just didn't talk to anybody. I was just very, very quiet. And existence was like miserable. And then I realized, I was like, this ain't going to work. Nobody cares that I don't know anybody here. And if I don't try to like get out of my comfort zone here and try to talk to people and get a little outgoing, I'm going to have a really horrible existence for the rest of my high school life. And it was, that 6 months sucked. But it was very transformative for me because I got put in a situation where I had to do something. I had to make a change. And then it was a pivot. Like if you would have told my younger self, my 15-year-old self, that you're going to have a podcast one day and you're going to do this and you're going to be out there speaking, I'm like 0% chance, because it was the opposite of everything I wanted to do in my body. But it changed kind of how I was wired. And I realized if you want to meet people and do stuff, you got to go and do stuff. So it was probably one of the better things that happened to me. But at the time, I thought it was horrible. But that's kind of life. You take what it gives you and you try to turn it into something positive.
Right. You know what? When we all learn that out of your comfort zone lesson, needless, the earlier the better.
Yeah.
Earlier the better. But if somebody were to force you to do it, for example, I think one of the reasons parents are so eager to sign kids up to do sports and clubs and all of these things is because they want them out of the house. No, they want them to learn about themselves.
Yeah.
Right. But very often it works in a negative way because it doesn't click, it's forced, and it's too much. So, they're learning clarinet, they're in football, they're all they're in a bunch of different clubs, and it's too much. But the fact that it was too much. You were forced to go to a new school. Right. And you had a lot of other things going on at the time, but you were able to figure it out.
Yeah.
Right. A lot of times kids don't get the right lesson out of, I was forced to learn the clarinet. My mother I wanted to play clarinet, but she said, no, girls don't play clarinet. You're going to play the flute. I'm like, okay. I wanted to play guitar, but no, hippies play guitar. You're going to learn how to play piano. All right.
Well, I said to my mom the other day, my folks are, older and stuff. And I said, why did you make me play the saxophone? Because they did. And she goes, I'm so sorry. And she doesn't have any memory loss. She goes, I don't remember you doing that. She goes, were you good? I go, I was horrible. And it sucked. She goes, I don't remember you even playing saxophone. And here I am, tortured, that I was forced to do it. So if you're out there and you're forcing your kid to do an instrument and they hate it, come on, move on.
I mean, fortunately or not fortunately, I don't know. I was in all of the marching bands, and
Yes.
I couldn't
So
play a
was I.
note. Not
I
a
suck.
note.
No.
I mean, I pretended the whole way, and if I
Yes.
didn't pretend, it would have been in like the person singing out of tune in the chorus.
Oh, you and I could have been bandmates. We were equally horrible and in the marching band. Which, by the way, was embarrassing. There was that
It
bonus.
really was. Put the uniform on.
Yes.
I was just embarrassed. I couldn't wait to get home, and
nothing good came out of being in the
nothing
marching.
good came out of it. Nothing good came out of it. Matter of fact, I did meet like a few people, but nothing good came out of it.
You don't want to meet zero. Nothing. Just ignore it. Move on.
The other odd thing is when I went to when I was in college, my father was, aside from being the most honest man in the world, my father was a lifeguard. Now, he was born in 1914, and he was a lifeguard in the Catskills.
I love the
for
Catskills.
the summer. So he would go up for the summer. He'd be a lifeguard, and for all the Jewish hotels up in the
Concord, Grossinger's.
Yes,
I know it well.
We probably passed each other by one of those
right.
things. So when I was young, he must have thrown me in the water, and I started swimming as a baby. So I always swam, and I love swimming, but high school swimming was horrible.
Oh, that is horrible.
Getting undressed, getting totally naked in a smelly, chlorinated locker room with pubescent girls is the worst experience in the world. So I did not enjoy this, the swim team, and I didn't get involved in it. Although when I was in college, now let's, the time marches on. It's now the mid 70s. Well, it's 77 actually. And I have to I went to school. I went to a state school in New York. It was Buffalo. I had to take one sport. I had to take a sport credit to graduate. So I first take golf, and I was like, no, this is not good. Then I take badminton. I'm like, badminton should be pretty easy. I mean, I didn't even finish the golf. I couldn't swing. I was like, what? Not only couldn't I swing, but I was like, why do people play this sport? It is stupid. So then I do badminton, and I realize that my arms slip out of joint.
Mm.
So I go back really, to hit the little dinky birdie, go back to hit it, and my arm slides out of joint.
You could have been like Houdini. You could have like broken out of the straitjackets.
Oh my God. So I'm in utter pain, and the only thing that I do is I bend over. It's like, and it slips back in.
Oh.
I'm like, oh, thank God. I'm like, that's it for this one. So now now it's the last year of my senior, college career, and I can't graduate without a full credit here. I have to take the whole course. Can't walk out on it. And I take swimming. I'm like, I could swim. I don't need to, do anything with my arms. I don't have any balls. I could not to be rude. Not have any balls. So, I'm swimming in the water, and it's we're doing some kind of endurance race. It's the end of the class. The teacher comes over to me and says, I have a bad feeling, but I'm going to ask you anyway. Would you like to be part of the swim team?
Oh, look at you.
And I'm like, it's my senior year. And she's like, I knew it. It just, it's too late. I knew it. So I should have been a swimmer.
You could have been on the swim team.
I could have been a contender. But, there you go.
It wasn't meant to be.
Okay. So, did I embrace the mess, or did I have to? No, I didn't do either one. So I'll tell another story.
Okay.
Time that I had to put myself back together again. So I have often said that my life has been biblical because, by the way, I have a puppy and she's not in the room and I have no idea what she's doing.
I know what she's doing.
I know. Tasha.
What are you doing?
What are you doing? Oh, well, I hope I have enough paper towels.
There you go.
So, I have to put myself back together again. What was the story? The story went right out of my head. And
It was a very good.
biblical. How could I not remember
Yeah.
biblical? So, when I was young, ninth grade going into 10th, came home from school one day, my girlfriend and myself, we come around the block, and I look at my house, and there's smoke coming out of my chimney. We don't have a fireplace.
Oh, that's not good.
My sister, at the same instant, she had an orange and white Pinto, Ford Pinto. She's coming home from work. She drove around the corner, didn't say anything to us, just kept driving. And I'm like, oh, you know.
Right.
Now we're walking closer to the house, and just like your son, clueless, my sister opens the garage door, which puts more air into it, and it just like smoke starts flying out of it.
Wow.
At which point, now the fire department's coming.
Yeah, good.
Right? Fire department's coming. So neighbors must have seen it. Okay, so fire. I said biblical, right? Fire.
Yeah.
I was married February 25th, 1995. My mother passed away March 10th, 1995.
Okay.
My father passed away April 14th, 1995.
Well, that's a big year right there. That's a lot going on.
Husband, who's, the honeymoon's over. It's over. I mean, really. My husband has an accident at work in June of 1995. So
my God.
That was the...
That's a year.
That was the year. So, death.
Boils.
Frogs. So then, let's see now, we've got fire. Okay, now flood. So I live on the South Shore of Long Island. And Superstorm Sandy wipes it out. Wipes it out totally.
Wow.
3 feet of water in the house, 5 feet of water in the street, just biblical.
Wow. Not
fire,
good.
Flood, death, COVID, disease.
Yeah.
Okay, biblical life.
Wow. That's something.
Biblical life. And in each case, just had to put it back together.
You have no choice, right?
Right? Have no choice. I mean, I could also include 9/11 because I live in New York. But in every case, there's really nothing. I mean, cry hysterically, get crazy, grieve. But you've got to keep marching.
Just one foot in front of the other, and just
right? Got to keep marching. And you can't get bitter. You can't go crazy. You can't wonder what your dog is doing when your puppy's doing in the other room. Tasha!
No, we are all in control of our own minds,
right?
So you just got to focus on that.
That's the wrong dog that just walked by. Tasha? Oh, maybe she's outside with... Okay. All right. Get out the paper towels. So that was the time that I had to put it back together again.
I hear you.
So now...
Yes. Uh-oh.
A time when beauty was in the eye of the beholder. That's a tough one, right?
Oh my God. Beauty was in the eye of the beholder.
Right.
I mean, my first reaction to that is my wife said yes to me. I mean, that's clearly
right?
the answer. Yes.
I would say that for each and every one of us, it's like that, right? For each and every one of us,
you feel that way.
Here we are, back in high school again. Here we are in high school, and everything that we do is got to be the popular thing, right? We're all hung up in being popular. We want to look like Tasha's back. And what have you done? I will say, look, everyone. Beauty is in the eye of the beholder.
Oh, come on now.
Right?
That's beautiful right there. That's
Beautiful.
amazing.
She's beautiful. But she has those evil eyes. It's like, ooh, little
No, she
demon.
doesn't. No.
Mask marauder.
She, she's beautiful.
Okay. Go back down and lay down.
I've never been on a podcast with a dog before, so
Never?
this is amazing. No,
Well, I've got 3.
first time. First time.
So, yeah, I really think that, we start off, we act like our parents, we act like our brothers and sisters, we act like, we do everything like everyone else. And it's like, do you like this? I don't know. Do you like that? Right?
Well, that's the world we live in now. All we want to know is what other people think. I mean, I was on Uber Eats today trying to order something, and the salad place I'm going to order from had a 3.9. I was like, oh, I can't order from that. That's disgusting. I'll die if I eat that, right? And it's only because I'm relying on what everybody else thinks. And then I got in an Uber car the other day, and it had a 5.0 rating and like 8,000 rides. I was so excited to get in this guy's car. I'm like, what is he doing in this car to 5.0 and 8,000 rides? It must be the greatest car of all time. And all we care about is what everybody else thinks. This is society. This is the planet.
It's a funny thing because I had said that when social came out. I was like, oh my God, we've all gone back to high school. This is terrible. Yes. I mean, it's great that we all get to reminisce or reconnect with people that we haven't seen. But it's all about, I'll just say this because everyone will think that I'm the best person on the planet. Oh, I'll put this up. I'll show everybody what I'm eating because I'm so cool. Everybody will be like, oh, we love her plates, It's just
100%.
It's a little terrible.
It's annoying.
It's
right?
annoying. It's very annoying.
Yeah.
Do you
I agree.
Do you do social? Or do you do it because you have to because you're in marketing?
So I do LinkedIn at an excessive amount. I post on LinkedIn a lot, but in my personal life, I haven't posted on social media. I want to say in, 15 years or however long it's been out there. I think, especially right now, Facebook. If you post a decent amount on Instagram, okay, whatever. But people that are still posting a lot on Facebook, like really posting, I'm not talking about groups. I think groups on Facebook are actually useful and I like them. But if you're a regular poster on Facebook, I am totally judging you and I think you're weird. And that's how I feel.
Well, it's kind of funny because I tend to be, oh, here's the other dog. Wait a minute. No.
By the way, I have no idea if you post on Facebook a lot, so I probably just insulted you.
No. Here's the other dog.
Oh, why do you have the cutest dogs?
Cutest.
The cutest dogs in the world.
Go ahead. Now they're going to fight. Good fight. Fight with each other. Go ahead. So she's punching her in the face. I'm not kidding. No, you don't have to say that. I find that I like to post stuff on Facebook. As I said, it connects me with people, and sometimes I just want to share stuff. Yeah. But I really think about what it is before I do it. Like I'm not eating dinner and saying, "Oh, I have to take a picture of this." Right? And
like you upload here's 50 pictures. I went for a walk, and here's 75 plants I saw on my walk.
Right. I mean, sometimes that happens when I a few years back, I went to it was the fall, and I went to a park. The colors were spectacular. I was like, "Oh, I got to do this. This is just crazy spectacular."
But you're not doing it in a way where you're trying to say like, "Look at me, I'm great."
Right.
That's the one.
But I am. But no, I'm not doing it. Yeah.
No, you're saying, "Look at this. I'm experiencing this. This is a cool experience for me. I want you to see what I'm up." But you're not saying like, "I'm amazing. Look at me, everybody," because that's what drives me crazy. It's like, enough with you. You know?
And it's not a healthy thing to do.
No. I don't do I should be on TikTok. I don't.
I
don't care. But LinkedIn, forget it. I'm on there way too much.
I post the podcast on LinkedIn, and I made a point to say to myself, this year you're going to focus on the podcast. And so that's what I post, right?
Yeah.
And I try to read what other people have to say, but It's kind of weird. I try not to be the judge of what other people are saying, but I see I hear in my head people, I read it and I hear my head saying, "What? What is this again? Is literally, is this all about you?"
Yeah, there's definitely a lot of that.
It's like, okay, I'm really glad you're doing this, but I understand you're looking for leads, but just like, can't you do it in a different way?
Yeah, there's got to be a better way.
Got to be a better way.
I like sharing useful stuff. I'm not a big. I just did something awesome. Give me a high five. I could care less.
Yeah, the stuff if you look at my LinkedIn podcasts, you would think, is she posting other podcasts? Like she's not even she's not even in the podcast. She's not even picturing herself in the podcast.
Yeah, I post a lot of memes, which is embarrassing, but I don't care. I like memes.
I like memes. I like quotes. Instagram, I do a lot of quotes on Instagram.
Yeah, I like quotes. I like memes. Why not?
So I'll be like, oh, what did Albert Einstein say?
Yeah.
Oh, he said, oh. Yeah.
What did Joy Brooks say? That's what we want to get to.
Oh, gosh. I don't know. I tend to be unfiltered, and that's problematic.
No, you seem so scripted.
Oh, I can't even script it. I could write it down on a piece of paper.
Can you imagine?
And then after I've written it all down, we've had the conversation, I look at the paper and I say, I can say one of those things. What the hell is the matter with
me? That is the list of things you're not going to talk
about. Yeah, I'm all over the place. And I often say to myself, everybody, the big words, be in a mindset of being intentional. And I'm like, well, who's unintentional? And I'm thinking me, but who's unintentional? I'm going to get up and be unintentional. So I'm not going to have breakfast. I'm not going to get dressed. I'm not going to walk the dog.
I know. It's like authentic. It's like, what does that mean?
Exactly. Authentic. Say, be your authentic self. Who else was I going to be?
Right. I'm not Richard Little. I can't give you the impressions.
Right. I mean, like, the problem is I'm too authentic. I got to tone it down a little bit and be like someone else for a change, because it's like, Joy, that's a little too much. I don't think I asked for your opinion. Yeah, but I'm giving it to you anyway.
Right.
Yeah, I don't know. I've often said I am my own entertainment.
Well, I find you entertaining, so there's that.
There is that. The dogs are staring at me. I don't know what they think I'm saying. I'm not talking about you, so don't worry. Would you like me to talk about you?
Yeah.
One of my dogs, I name my dogs way before I get them. All right, you want to come back up? All right. So I had the name Lucy as a dog name for a number of reasons. There was the movie Lucy with oh my goodness, her name. I'm getting old.
Scarlett Johansson.
Thank you, Scarlett Johansson.
Oh, I saw that movie.
That was a great movie. It was a great movie. I like that movie. And of course, there's Lucille Ball. I love Lucy.
Yes.
And then there was the Fifth Element.
Yeah. Another good movie.
Right. Where it's got this really long name.
And
whatever it is. And there was an element of Lucy in it somewhere around the so I'm like, I'm going to name my dog Lucy. Right. So then I saw her. I was like, oh, Lucy. And then she becomes Lucille Ball. Clearly, this chick is Lucille Ball.
She likes chocolate.
She's like, I got some splaining to do. So she became Lucy. I had 2 cats, gray kittens, brother and sister, perhaps. I don't know, probably brother and sister, sisters, not brother. And I named them Thelma and Louise.
There you go.
Oh my God, they were.
Don't go near cliffs, though.
They were. No, they 9 months. They were both pregnant.
Wow.
and they had a litter, like 15 babies each. So I
Wow.
had 2 cats, and then I had like 40 cats.
You're a cat lady.
I was like, and my husband at the time was like, what did you do? I didn't do it.
That's a fair question.
I didn't do it.
Well, somebody did.
Yeah, but we lived in Washington State at the time, and it was easy to get rid of the cats. So every cat was taken.
Nice.
But then both cats took off. So they did exactly what Thelma and Louise.
Right. They bailed on you.
No, I didn't get to meet Brad Pitt, but there you go.
I was about to say.
So we played the game.
We did great.
We did great. No one wins.
We all won.
We all win. We all win in life.
Right. That's right.
So is there anything going on with your conferences?
Yeah, if anybody likes going to virtual conferences that don't suck, that are fun, that's what we're doing. So we have 2 coming up. We have one that's all about email. It's free. It's virtual. It's called Guru Conference. You can go to guruconference.com. And it's 2 days, all about email marketing. It's going to be crazy. Last year we had Martha Stewart. We're working on our famous people for this year. It's going to be pretty cool. And that one's in October, guruconference.com. And then in September, we're doing one about direct mail called deliveredconference.com. And that is also going to be free and virtual and crazy and super fun. So we try to put on events for marketers to learn, to network, to hang out, to have fun, and we keep it free. And that's our jam.
Yeah. Do you find that virtual conferences do well?
You know, for us, we've looked at them totally differently. I would say 99% of virtual conferences are terrible. So what we do is we try to incorporate lots of fun while we're learning. So we had live DJs, we had hot chicken wing contests, we had the cast from Love is Blind, the reality show there. We had TikTok dancers teaching us how to TikTok dance. So we try to add in a lot of fun. And then the other thing that we did was no on demand. So if you didn't show up, you missed it. And we try to treat a virtual conference like an in-person conference, and we had 20,000 people. And so you really get to network and hang out and have some fun. So we try to look at it differently, and I think that works. I think that people have a hard time is that they treat it as just this thing that people just watch on their screen and not interact and not do stuff. And that, in my opinion, is a recipe for failure.
Yeah, that's like 5 hours worth of webinars.
Which is horrible torture, right? Just epic torture. And we don't do that. We have costume contests. We have all sorts of nonsense where everybody's interacting with each other. So that's what we try to do. And we try to really change it up, which is why I think it resonates.
That sounds like a lot of fun. Maybe this year I'll go.
It is fun. You should go.
Here I sign up. And
it is going to be out of control. It really will be, unlike any virtual thing you've ever attended. And by the way, I have a podcast, I have to plug it. It's called Do This, Not That. Every week we release 4 episodes, which is really way too many. But it's a lot of fun. They're all short, and we talk about chaos. So there you go. We'll have to have you on the podcast.
I do this, not that. I probably would have a lot of
right.
a lot of knots to talk about.
Don't do anything you're doing. Stop. Do the other stuff. Whatever you're doing, do the opposite.
Yes. There I am. That's me. That's me.
Right.
The no girl. And my girlfriend used to say all the time, she'd ask me a question and she wouldn't even wait for me to answer. She'd just say no.
They cut you off. It's like, are you interested? No, I'm not.
No.
Just no. Whatever it is. No.
Joy, do you want to go out? No. All right. All right. Never mind.
Yeah.
There was one time she said to me, you're going, I was working at NBC. I was doing the 1992 Summer Olympics in Barcelona. So they had issued the check, and I was going the next week. So she said, okay, let's go out. Let's, go out and celebrate. And then she's like, no, right? I'm like, no, let's go. So we did. We went out, and that's when I met my husband.
Oh, look at that. See?
That's when I met my husband.
Well,
and I blame her all the time. I'm like, Mary, it was your it was your fault that I met Mary. It's your fault. And now that I'm hanging around with you again, because,
Right.
after I got married and, we went our separate married ways, we were friends because I lived in her house. She was my landlady.
Oh, wow.
And she went through a divorce, and I got married. So we parted. We went separate ways. And she found out that Harry had passed, and she connected with me again. And we were just as fast friends as we were prior to that. And I said to her, I said, you do realize that I'll probably meet someone else because of you. And I said, and that's scary.
She's like a matchmaker.
Yeah, I'm sort of done with that right now.
Right. I got you.
Yeah, So is there any last words, tips, things you could share with the people out there?
Just enjoy life. It will get better, whatever it is. If you're having struggles, it will get better. The sun will come out tomorrow, and just keep on keeping on. I don't know. These are my words of wisdom. Not too crazy, and drink a lot of coffee and Celsius, because that's what I do. Without that, I don't know where I'd be.
My last words is, make sure if you have a puppy, make sure you have enough paper towels.
Words to live by. And thank you for having me on. This has been amazing. It's been unique. I love it. I'm a listener of yours, and I appreciate what you do. You keep it real.
Thank you so much. And for everyone out there who's listening today and hasn't subscribed, God damn it, subscribe!
Now, come on, hit the subscribe button. What's wrong with you people?
I'm not giving you a choice now. You got to do it. All right.
Yeah, we're going to find you.
Yeah, really. I'm going to find you, and I'm going to sick my dog with blue eyes, Lucy.
Watch out. She's coming.
Bye, Lucy. I love you. All right, guys. Thanks so much. Right. Thank you, Jay Schwedelson, for being a guest. I very much appreciate you coming on. It's been tons of fun. I appreciate you.